With the high-octane fun and adventure of the Fast and the Furious franchise, and its now spin-off with Hobbs and Shaw, does that leave any room for a secondary high-octane four-wheeled franchise? Hot Wheels is making a movie? Let's talk about it. What's up, Universe, and welcome back to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to Comic YOUniverse. I'm your host, as always, C-Dubs, and I'm riding solo on this video. And guys, have I got some interesting and skull-scratching news for you here today. So, I come home from work to get a little lunch, and while I'm eating lunch, I open up the socials, if you will, the social media, and I'm chatting with the universe, scrolling through my Facebook, and I stumble across a story, and I'm like, interesting. I click on it, and I'm reading it, and this story proceeds to tell me that Mattel and Warner Bros. Are joining forces to bring us a live-action Hot Wheels movie.
Prepare for the most advanced Hot Wheels ever, with floating front axle, polycarb body. It's Top Speed. Set your launcher and unleash the power of Hot Wheels Top Speed. Race Top Speed. Jump Top Speed. Crash Top Speed. Yeah! Now challenge the pipe fight set.
Do it again!
Can you make it to the pipe? Or will you crash?
Yes!
Top Speed Pipe Fight. Hot Wheels Top Speed Ultra Pipe Fight set comes with 2 cars and launchers. Others sold separately for use only with Top Speed cars.
And this got me thinking, is this something we need? Is this something we want? Is this something that will even be a success? Because Lord knows that Warner Brothers, though they did just have a billion-dollar franchise created with Aquaman, they haven't been the most successful film franchise or film company out there. You know, honestly, since, Disney and, Marvel have been going around, they've been playing second fiddle big time in a major, major way. So they really need a major hit. And is this going to be it? I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. This is something we're going to have to talk about in the comments below, because I don't even know if the general audience wants something like this. I can tell you that the very first, almost all of us, especially if you're a male, has had and owned a Hot Wheel or wanted a Hot Wheel at some point in time in your life. You wanted to push it down the orange track. You wanted the one with the big metal motor or the flames on the side, or maybe it was a Hot Wheel that was in your, in the form of your favorite Batmobile or your favorite superhero vehicle. Okay, or who remembers those Hot Wheels that were shaped like animals, like the purple shark mobile, if you will? Dude, it was absolutely awesome. Loved them as a kid. I do have an affinity for them. I do like them still. I do have a few still. I'm not the biggest collector of them, but there is definitely a whole fandom that collects these Hot Wheels, and a lot of them are worth a lot of money, to be honest with you, to the right person. So there is an already built-in fan base there that will at least give this movie a shot. Now, the key to this movie and this film franchise being a success is the director, the trailer, and the cast. These are going to be the 3 things they have to get right, because we already have a movie out there that's dedicated to the gearheads, if you will, to the motorheads, in Fast and the Furious. And even itself, Fast and the Furious has kind of shied away from the focal point being about the cars and the racing. That is like a secondary, maybe even a third area of you, if you will. Yes, I said third dairy. It's not even the focal point to the movies anymore. It's more of a hodgepodge mashup, character movie, if you will. An ensemble film, kind of in the vein of like an Ocean's 11, is what the recent films, the last 3 to 4, really that's been the focal point of them. And the cars really are just a side product, and maybe where they all met and their passion comes from. And yes, they do exist within the film, and they do drive really cool cars, and that's usually what revolves their plan around. Okay, but again, that's not been the focal point to the movie. They realized early on that by the third one, people just were starting to not care anymore. So this movie's going to have to do the same thing. Can it have an underlining plot of racing? Yes, but there's got to be more to this Hot Wheel movie franchise. You know, underground racing, whether it's professional racing or underground racing, it doesn't matter. If you want to build a film franchise and not just a one and done, you're going to have to make it a lot more. You know, it's going to have to deal with a lot more. That's just, you know, my 2 cents. And I'm pretty sure some of you may have disagree or may have your own thoughts of what this movie should be about. But I'm reading the tea leaves, if you will. If you just make it about racing, I can't see it being any good past 2, to be honest with you guys. And it also is really interesting that, on a side note, another Mattel movie apparently that's being made that I somehow missed. I don't know how, even though it doesn't necessarily appeal directly to me. But I guess with my dedication to the universe, I'll have to check this movie out regardless. And I'm sure my wife, I'm pretty positive to some degree my wife is still a fan of this character, and that's Barbie. She has a live-action movie coming out starring Margot Robbie, which is kind of interesting. She's kind of, even though Barbie's kind of seen it all, done it all, she's held every profession, she's kind of America's sweetheart, and, and not knocking it, not saying she can't do it. Margot Robbie, not an American, so that's a little interesting to me that they would go that route. And I also heard that somehow, Amy Schumer was in the role initially. That's kind of even more interesting to me, and actually makes me a little more interested in the movie if that were the case, because they definitely would be going in a different route, if you know what I mean, than what your stereotypical Barbie doll looks like. And at the risk of sounding like a chauvinistic pig, that's where we're going to leave that part of the story, and we're going to jump back into the Hot Wheels here, guys. So, Hot Wheels, are you excited? Do you want it? Do you think we need it? I mean, there was another franchise out there that tried to make a Gearhead franchise, and who remembers Need for Speed, right? Great video game series. I've owned it. I've loved it. There's many good ones out there. They tried to make a movie. The trailer was so bad that I didn't even care. Okay, now I have seen some movies that the movie turned out to be great and the trailer was horrible, but I've seen a lot more movies where the trailer was horrible and the movie was worse, and I'm talking and looking at you, Slender Man, from last year. Absolutely terrible. Blech. So yeah, this movie has to nail the trailer, has to nail the cast. You got to get a big star to be interested. If you just go in with a bunch of nobodies, we're not going to care. I really don't think... I think this movie needs at least 1 or 2 major stars. Nothing huge. You don't need like a Leonardo DiCaprio. You don't need to win an Oscar with this movie, but you gotta have something good, an action-packed... I mean, I might be sacrilegious to say, but I could see The Rock starring in it, to be honest with you. But as long as the story's a little different, people might turn up. If it's just kind of gonna follow suit of your just stereotypical racing or follow suit with the Fast and the Furious franchise, I honestly see this being a complete and utter failure personally, but I will check it out just for sheer nostalgia reason alone. So Universe, let us know in the comments below. Are you excited about this? Do you want to know why the hell this is even a thing? When I told DPZ about it, he was like, why? And a part of me was like, well, why not? I mean, if any vehicle franchise out there, deserves to have their own movie or a shot at being a movie, this is one of the first toys everybody gets, It's one of the biggest toy icons there has ever been. And, a lot of people's passion for fixing cars starts with Hot Wheels. And yeah, sure, Tonka as well, but Hot Wheels, So yeah, again, Universe, let us know. Let's talk about it in the comments below or hit us up on our social medias. All the links to those can be found in the description below on the video. Guys, go ahead and Hulk smash that like button like you mean it. Subscribe if you haven't already, guys, and click that notification bell so you can be part of our notification squad and become part of the universe and chit chat with us, guys. We're on our milestone, on our way to be monetized, guys. We're this close, so let's push to make that happen, guys, so that we can build a bigger and better platform for you, the audience, and we can all geek out together, guys. And until next time, I'm C-Dubs, and I'll see you in the universe. Peace.